We next have Jersey Jack. And Jack has been promising a very special presentation this year. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And shortly, I'm going to be joined by someone else who's going to help me along with this seminar. We have Dave Fix upstairs in his little room, and he'll be working with us as well.
And we're about to cut to Gary.
We're going to cut to Gary right now. So, Gary, where are you, buddy?
Hold on, here we go.
Here's Gary.
I'm doing really well, Rob. How are you, buddy? Is that Gary Flower? Who is that?
Jack, how are you?
Oh my goodness gracious, it's Gary Flower.
Hi.
Gary. Gary, you know, if I knew you were here,
Lovely.
I would have got one of your books out, and I would ask you to stick your pen and sign it virtually. You know, but I have a whole book collection. I want you to know. I just want you to know how much I love you.
Okay, double love.
Dude, we're good.
I bought out every book that you ever made.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Are we on air?
Yes.
I hope so. I don't want to waste that shtick if we're not on the air, for goodness sake.
Right, okay. Well, Jack, I've got a special honour here. I'm being allowed to have the privilege of inducting you into the Hall of Fame. Long overdue. So let me just tell people a bit about you. From what I've been able to find out from the Pinball archives, you've been in the business now for over 45 years. You started off as a tech guy repairing games, then you moved on to selling. You're also available as a consultant. You've also a columnist for Replay, and more recently we know you all as founder of JJP, Jersey Jack Pinball, a company that bears your name. But more important really than all of that, you're a great ambassador for pinball, and most of all, you're an all-round good guy. So if I can explain to people watching that, in my mind at least, you really lost the plot back in 2011 when the madness got a grip. Now, to take people back to those times, back in 2011, pinball was in the doldrums. It was dying on its feet. It was in such a dire state that of the three big companies, only number 4 survived, and that was Stern. And they were doing great work trying to keep pinball alive, but really it was on life support. They were battling against the disappearance of pinball machines on location. And then along comes Jack. And like all founders of pinball companies, you knew the answer. You knew how to get pinball back on its feet. And my perception is that you wanted to give people fully loaded games built to a Cadillac standard. Now, I think your journey since 2011, you'd probably acknowledge that at the time you did not fully comprehend the enormity of the undertaking. And I would say there were, from records, there were 3 other companies started within 12 months of you, and no one was as successful as you. You met the challenge head on. You worked tirelessly, 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. It seemed, to me at least, whenever I tried to contact you, day or night, I always got a response within 5 minutes. And perhaps the most unexpected response was you actually phoned me mid-flight on the way to Australia. But today, we can celebrate the fruits of your vision. You've got a company that's going from strength to strength, producing quality games that everyone wants to own. Jack, this is a serious bit. I'm proud to call you my friend. You're a true hero of pinball, and I'm privileged and honoured to induct you into the Pinball Expo Hall of Fame in recognition of your lifetime contribution to the wonderful world of pinball. Jack, I salute you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's very, very big surprise. And Gary, you are a good friend. You even hosted me at your home several nights. And you took me around London and, you know, showed me the city. And I really appreciate what everybody has contributed because, you know, I might have started it, but without the whole team and without everybody sharing in the vision and the belief, there would be no Jersey Jack Pinball. So the award to me is wonderful. It's very humbling, but it's really to be shared with everyone else, even our customers that believed in us, people that I hired in the very beginning, like Keith, that believed in me, other people that I've been able to help along the way. You know, when we first met Eric when he was in school, I believed he could design games. It's been a great ride, and I've been really happy to be part of it, a small part of it anyway. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, everybody.
And Jack, Jack will be getting you a plaque. It will send to your home so you can enjoy it, hang it up. You can show it to Jen, and everyone will be happy in the family.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it too. And say hi to your wonderful wife and your son and everybody that makes Pinball Expo be Pinball Expo. We really love it.
Congrats.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm getting a lot of
Everyone,
texts.
good to see you all.
Yeah, you too.
Yep.
All right, so do we launch into our next part of our program here after I've been a little shell-shocked a little and almost a little speechless, which is unusual for me. You know, really on behalf of everyone at Jersey Jack Pinball, the team that's assembled here, that created Guns N' Roses and all the people in the company, we just want to thank everybody for the overwhelming response. We're very proud of the work that we've done, the passion that we have, and the love of the fan base and the growing fan base of pinball. And that's what we want to do with every game. We want to kind of leave it all on the table. We want to bring it, leave it all on the table for everybody to enjoy and have fun with, because the world needs more smiles. We know that for sure. It's been a rough year for a lot of people. And I know Guns N' Roses and all of our games, they make a lot of people smile. And thank you, Slash. Slash just sends me a text. Unbelievable guy. What an unbelievable guy. And we'll get to a little bit of that in a little bit. Joe, you want to kick it off? I think the first question is yours, right?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. Before that, though, I would like to congratulate you personally. And without your vision, I would not have the honor to be working in this industry right now. So I just want you to know that.
I appreciate that, Joe.
So the first question that I have is from a guy named Jason Werdrick. I never heard of him, but his question was, how long does it take to program the light shows for each song? And was it Slash or Eric that got the final say on how it should look? So I think the answer to that question is every song varied in the amount of time that it took, and it really depended on the vision that the person who was doing it wanted to put into the song. And the bottom line is they all took a really long time to do. And graciously, Eric and Slash trusted us to have the vision that we wanted to put into the songs. So, yeah, I mean, it was an incredible project to work on.
Cool.
Very cool.
Cool. Our next question, JT, the man in the dark, the man in the silhouette. Where are you, JT?
I'm here.
All right.
Congratulations,
You have a
Jeff.
question. You're next up. Thank you very much, JT.
So this one is from Michael Brasky. He asks, how many Easter eggs are hidden in the game? And the short answer is there are a lot, but I'll detail a few. So everybody, I think, has seen the videos of the scratching record by now in attract mode. I'm pretty proud of that one. I put that one in myself. I recorded myself scratching on my own turntable, which turned out pretty cool. It's the first one I ever put in a game, so.
It's very cool.
But on top of that, there are 10 plus flipper codes. One of them, which I'll give everybody, is GNR, which will let you watch a kind of behind the scenes video of the behind the scenes of Not in This Lifetime tour, which is pretty cool. There's 2 that I know of in the art of the playfield. There's one on the cabinet. There are 2 in the graphics to the main display. And I think that's all I'm going to give you, actually. But if you were to count them all up, there's probably 30, and I think people have only discovered about 4. So you have a lot of work to do.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Good one.
Very cool. Duncan Brown and JP DeWin, you have the next question together.
Okay. Well, I suppose we'll give different answers to it because it's kind of an open-ended question. It's from Greg Pittner. He says, what part of the game did you create that gave you that aha moment that you look at now in the finished product and see in action or in the game, and you say to yourself, I did that and it's great, with the help of the team, of course. JP, you go first.
You're on mute, JP.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. For me as well, congratulations, Jack, with the honoring. So for me, I'm very proud of the end result itself, the look of the game. We had 4 different artists on this game. I think we didn't have any game yet with that many different artists. And it was my task to bring it all together, or at least Eric asked me if I could help him out directing the artists. At first we had Dane, and we had to convince Slash, because first Slash he wasn't really convinced about the colors of his work, and so we had to convince Slash, and I'm glad we got him on board because I think the result is just amazing. Arian, the poster, the original poster guy, did an amazing job on 2 cabinets, and then we have Mark Molitor, who came in as an animator. He did 1 cabinet, and eventually, the 4th artist is an intern I hired, and he graduated on school, and he did, for instance, the CE back glass, and that's quite an accomplishment for an intern to do. So I'm very proud of that. All of that it's 3 different packages, and you can really see the difference in the. It feels like 3 different games, but it's still it's a cohesive overall thing. And then another cool thing is that the album modes on the screen really resemble all the different art packages, and that so it doesn't matter if you buy a LE, CE, or a SE, you still have all the artwork on the screen if you play the album. And then the final wizard mode will be a combination of the 3 different artists in animating, in drawing, but you will see it once you get there. So we're not going to reveal that. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, and yes, I forgot to say congratulations, Jack. Pinball Hall of Fame is quite the honor there.
Right there.
Maybe someday I'll get in there. Ha.
I guess all you have to do is start a pinball company.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's it?
There you go. One of the things I was really proud of, and it was a lot of work between me and Tony to get those hot rails going. You know, it started out with like this little sample strip of 5 LEDs from the manufacturer, and you know, I think even Eric got those running, right? He had a little.
So I did.
Yeah.
Even Arduino making those blink.
Put those in. I'm like, look, guys, how hard could it be?
Yeah, it's
Right?
an off-the-shelf part, as someone said.
Exactly.
Okay, but then, you know, suddenly you start trying to drive several hundred of them, and it's a whole different ballgame. And then you try to get the power to all of them, and they're real finicky about that. But we kept at it, and we all worked together and kept changing out chips and processors and power supply capacitors and all kinds of things. And then we got it nailed. Once we finally got that all running and then lit up several hundred of them at once, it was just jaw-dropping, and we've been having fun with them ever since.
They look beautiful.
Yeah.
They really do.
Amazing.
Look beautiful. Peter, next question's for you. Actually, there's 2 questions from 2 different people.
That's correct.
So you're
Oh,
special.
I am special. I drive the yellow bus. Congratulations, Jack. I'm Peter Dorn. I'm in
Thank you,
mechanical
Peter.
engineering. There are 2 questions. The first one's from Jonathan Sherwood. The question is, this is the first pin to have a very innovative hot rail and LED sensors or switches. Are these both going to be staples going forward in future JJP games? And can we get an idea of a sneak peek about future uses? Well, we all love the hot rails. It's gotten a huge response out in the field. We've got a lot of comments about it. I really don't know what's going to happen in the future because each one of the pinball designers have their own vision for their games. But again, we really like the hot rails. It really lights up under the glass. It gives us, you know, an even lighting and a light show that is unsurpassed by anything we've had out there before. As for the sensors, we like that too. It doesn't take up any room on the play field. Again, it's something we really like. Tony, who's coming up in a little bit, is going to talk about some other things, but Tony developed this for us, and it really is a slick little system that he put together for us. Can I give you a sneak peek? Nah, that's not going to happen. Sorry. Wish we could. The second question is, how did you come up with the idea of hot rails, and what challenges did you face in getting them in the game? And that's from Daniel Donnell. Well, the hot rails were not an easy task for anyone involved. And you heard Duncan talk a little bit about getting it, you know, just the LEDs lit up with the several hundred LEDs that were in there. But the development of the plastics that went into the hot rail, it just to get the lighting the way we wanted it, to make it glow correctly, the texturing, the manufacturing of it, getting it straight, that was all quite a difficult task to get that done correctly. As well as if you get the game or when you get one of these games and you dig into it a little bit, you'll notice even custom hardware in order to, you know, mount all the stuff on the rails. The other part of that was, you know, being able to maintenance the LEDs in case something does happen. And we made it so that you could actually get that out of the hot rails without even having to remove the hot rails themselves. So a lot of thought, a lot of process time, a lot of different departments got together and worked on that together. As to how we came up with that idea, I remember Tony and I talking about the ability to light up rails back when Pirates was still being developed at the very end of it. And we really didn't have an application for it at the time. But Eric jumped right on that bandwagon, no pun intended. And he drove that to get it to fruition, and you see the results. I would like to add a couple little things real quick. The last question about the aha moments. You know, mine had three items on the playfield. The motion spotlights in the back that are mounted in the very back of the playfield. They seem like little things, but that is a 3-axis driven set of spotlights, RGB lights inside of that. You know, playing with it on a bench is one thing, but then when you see it in the game with the rest of the lighting and everything, it does look really, really cool. The second thing was the pick spinners and getting those lit up with RGBs.
Yeah.
Just getting that plastic pick spinner to balance correctly and get it to level out after it's spun it took quite a while to get that to happen correctly. And the third thing for me was one of the marquee things in the game, and that was the hat. The first time I printed that out, we got to put it into the playfield and lights inside it lighting up the record. It looked really, really cool, and it just stands right out in your face. So those things combined for me, really, really stand out in the game. So.
Yeah, I gotta say, the first time Eric came into my office and he spun the spinner, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, that pick spinner is such an obvious thing to do, but holy cow, when I saw it for real, I was just, this is so amazing.
They light up like you wouldn't believe, too, with the LEDs next to them.
Yeah.
Great.
And they're perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah. Good job,
That
Peter.
took a lot of extra work
Beautiful
out of Peter.
job.
I mean, to the
Beautiful
point
job.
where the wire itself plays into the weighting of the center of gravity below the axis of rotation. And that made it. Like, we were struggling for a bit, and then Peter just pulled this idea out and it made it work. It got it to work the right way, and it just rips. I mean, a good hit on those spinners, you're getting, I think on average, we were doing 44 spins per hit, which is just incredible. I mean, that's so good, and it feels so good when you hear those sound effects and you see that thing just rip. So very happy with how the design turned out, and that's mostly due to Mr. Peter Dorn.
Well, thank you.
Awesome.
Great job, Peter.
Awesome job.
That's what we do.
Yep.
It sure is. Billy Grubb.
That's me.
You got Eric White has a really long, intricate question
I'll read it
for
really
you.
fast if that helps.
We have time.
Okay, so I'll read it really slow then. Eric's question was, I work with musicians on a regular basis mixing concerts live as a front of house sound engineer. Concerts are a culmination of choreographed sound, lighting production, and musician performance with a mixture of spirituality as well. As pinball designers, do any of you have musical performance backgrounds that allow you to feel what's right and what's missing from a band theme design? It's much akin to an actor trying to become the character they're playing to represent in the best way. And the answer is yes. I do have experience in my far, far distant past working in live sound and light production. It's still a hobby of mine. I don't get to do it as much as I like, but I hope that my experience there reflects in the game, in the light and sound shows. I wrote the framework that we use to choreograph the light shows, and I wrote a couple of light shows for the game. And yes, I drew on some experience from 30 years ago when I was doing that to bring that to the game. I've certainly never worked on a concert tour as large as Guns N' Roses was, but yes, I think some of that experience definitely shows up in the game.
Cool.
I have a pretty extensive music history as well. I've been playing musical instruments my whole life. I played trumpet in the best marching band in the world, the University of Wisconsin Marching Band, Go Badgers. And so music was very important to me my whole life, and working with Slash has been one of the coolest experiences. Being able to apply music in a way that most people I think will appreciate, even if they don't know exactly what they're listening for. One of the really cool features that we have in the game is Slash, Duff, and Richard Fortis all got in the studio to record sound effects at my request. And that was to make it so when you're hitting a ramp or you're hitting a target or you're hitting a loop shot, we have different length of sound effects for the song that you're playing. So you're playing Live and Let Die. They recorded sound effects in the right key of Live and Let Die at the right tempo of Live and Let Die so that everything jives the way that it should. You're not hearing anything out of tune or out of sync. And as someone who appreciates music and has lived with music my whole life, that was really important to me. And the guys were completely on board with making that happen. They all jumped in their studios and sent us the clips. with, on the first ask. So it was awesome.
Very cool. And Bill, the last thing he said to you was, "Thank you, JJP team, for creating dreams." And that's a really cool way to end that question. Tony, there's a couple of questions for you.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you, Tony.
I got questions from Colton Blanchard and Terry Bama. I'll go ahead and read them both. I'm going to combine them both because they kind of fit well together. Colton writes, compared to the other titles you have released, was this theme a lot more challenging to create? If so, what was more challenging with it and how did you overcome the challenges? And Terry writes, your new skill shot sensor, how does it work? Is it a derivative of a magnetic pickup or something completely different? So to touch on Colton's question, yes, definitely more challenging. Even throwing out the pandemic and moving the factory, this game pushed limits in every aspect. To Terry's question, it's a great segue into a specific example. The sensors used in the skill shot, the keyboard, the 6-ball lock, the drumsticks, they were a huge developmental challenge due to design constraints. For those sensors, I remember Eric coming into the lab to talk about initial design, and I don't know exactly what he said, but it started, off some way or something like, "You're gonna hate me in 5 minutes," or "You're gonna, don't kill me." And he laid out what he wanted. He says, "I want a non-contact sensor. I want RGBs right next to it, and I want you to fit it inside like a 3/4 inch insert." Yeah, no pressure there at all. Thanks, Eric.
You're welcome.
And it took longer till the rest of us hated him, but we eventually all did.
The initial challenge on that one was, where do we even begin with that? Yeah. So we looked at a lot of sensing techniques. We looked at eddy, magnetic read, Hall, resistive, optical.
Capacitive.
Capacitive, sorry. Yeah. In this application, reflective optos seem to best fit the needs due to the space constraint. We looked around at a bunch of different sensors, and the part we landed on is actually pretty special. Without giving too many of its secrets away, it's a little more high-tech than just a plain old reflective opto. Instead of just picking up an IR reflection, it pulses the light a little bit, and it also expects that significant timing pattern back on its return data. It also incorporates background energy into the return data, making it relatively immune to false triggers, which is huge. So the initial challenge of how was pretty much just overcome with a lot of research and a lot of testing. Once we found this fantastic part that got the job done, the challenge then became integrating that into a system that wasn't equipped to speak the same language as those sensors at all. That challenge snowballed a great deal after that and took a lot of collaboration between design, electrical, software, thank you, Duncan, especially, mechanical, and even the sensor manufacturers to get everything running absolutely perfectly. It turned out to be, even more massive of an undertaking than just designing the sensor itself. And that challenge was only overcome through tons of hours working through the one roadblock at a time. I got to reiterate, those sensors could not have happened without the drive and dedication of everyone on the team coming together to make something just really special. So thank you all.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing what went into a tiny component that 50% of the people out there may not even really think about. I mean, it speaks volume into the effort that went into the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Looks like the next question is for me, from Bill Brandeis. We don't know him. He's all the way up in Vancouver.
Right.
We do know him, actually. He, when Keith and I brought the first Wizard of Oz game anywhere for the public to see it, when was it, Keith? E3?
I believe it was E3 in the summer of 2012, as I recall.
Yeah, and the game was so heavy that I had to crawl inside the box and push it out, and Keith had to start the game with a keyboard And it was the famous time I coined the phrase, "It's a box of lights." You know, and there was this guy waiting to get into E3, and I didn't know who the heck he was. And he was very insistent. He kept calling me, and his name was Bill Brandes. And I realized he was on some bachelor show, Eligible Bachelor, Billionaire Bachelor, or something like that. And, you know, he was a good-looking guy. He's not my type, but he's a good-looking guy. And they had a lot of cameras, right, Keith, at E3? And I didn't even know Bill. And people wanted to ask the response of what the Wizard of Oz was. And I pushed Bill right in front of the camera. And I said, go ahead. And I think he spent the whole day doing interviews for us. So now Bill comes back with a question. And, you know, when we get to do shows, it's nice hanging out with Bill and Sabrina and so many people that we miss. So Bill writes, and it's a troublemaking question, as Bill is a troublemaker. Can you please answer how Guns N' Roses got more assets from Sir Paul McCartney than the Beatles pin got from the Beatles? How did Slash and Eric achieve this? Well, you know, interesting. You know, I do the licensing, among other things that I do, and it was a long period of time to do the licensing for all the songs in this game, to line up everything on performance side, publishing side, masters, how long you have songs to use them. And there was a song that we felt, I think the team felt it completely, and I felt it certainly after going to a couple of Guns N' Roses concerts, that we needed Live and Let Die. And it took a little while for me to get in touch with the publishing company that controls the rights. I don't know if Paul McCartney owns the company. I don't know the background to it, but I did get in touch with them. And I made my request for what I wanted. And they basically immediately said, no, that's thanks for asking, but that's not something that we're going to do.
Yep.
So I used my phone a friend, which is I called Slash. And, you know, I can't say enough amazing things about Slash, you know, knowing him about 15 years and, you know, just his love of the game and his desire to make something really great all the time, and everything he does, he just does it all the way. He never does it halfway, and he's such a great guy. So I used my phone friend again, and I called him up and I said, listen, maybe you can help me out with this. And Slash immediately said, no problem. I'll make a phone call. I'll call Paul, you know. And I said, okay, I guess these guitar players, they must be like some real close-knit group. And I just left it at that. And I really didn't talk to anybody about it. But I think maybe 2 days went by or 3 days went by. And the same person that told me no called me up and said something like, you know, you should have told me what was, you know, what you were doing completely, because I didn't quite understand it. But you have the song. So it's not what you know a lot of times. We know that. It's who you know. And thank you, Slash, for helping make a great game. I think the use, you know, my own game that I just got a couple of days ago, I try to get into that song because it's one of my favorites. And I love the lighting effects. I love what the game does when that song is playing, and it's awesome execution of the song. You know, a lot of times when I feel that I want to give the team more and more and more, one of my asks of myself is that, you know, if I give them this, will they be able to use it in the best possible way, or are we just spending money on something that will only be used a tiny little bit and it might not be seen or appreciated? But I could tell you that all the assets that we have in this game, they're used very well. And it's a great execution of the assets. And for somebody like me that started talking about a pinball machine with Slash back in 2012 or 13 to see the dream really come true. It's very satisfying. So thank you again, Slash. Really, really great. And the next question goes to our game designer, Eric, from somebody with the same name as you.
Right.
Same first name, anyway.
Right. So Mr. Eric Davidson posted on our Facebook page, were there any surprises or challenges collaborating with a celebrity during development? Slash seems like a pretty chill person from his interviews and has always been big on pinball. So I would imagine he provided a lot of stoke to the development process for everyone involved. But would love to hear how much he was involved and or how much of an impact he really had on the whole development team in respect to their dedication or personal investment in this amazing project. So like most people, I had no idea what Slash was going to be like. I was expecting, due to his level of fame and how much of a household name he is, I was really expecting this was going to be difficult to work with him. He was going to be a difficult personality, and I could not have been more wrong. Slash is one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met, who, when he came to our office, and he's been hanging out at JGP 3 or 4 times now, when he came to the office, he introduced himself isn't quite the right way to say it, because obviously Slash doesn't need to introduce himself to anyone, but he met with everyone on the team and shook their hands and asked what their involvement was with the project and was happy to hear about it. I mean, he wasn't just making face, like he was truly interested in what everyone did and how they were involved and what they brought to the project. Just shows kind of his character and what he's about. He understands and lives passion. Like that is what he does. And he sees that reflected in the way we all feel about our game. Slash has been involved before day one. I mean, it was Slash's idea to make this game happen. He called Jack personally and said, Jack, I really want to make a not in this lifetime game with you, with Jersey Jack Pinball, because of how much passion Jersey Jack Pinball brings to the table. And he has been just part of our team. I'm not just saving face by calling him the co-designer on the game. He is legitimately the co-designer. He was with me every step of the way. I have his personal cell number, and we literally text back and forth every day during the development cycle. I mean, he would more often than not text me first, asking, hey, Eric, what's the latest? What's going on? Can I see some artwork? Can I see some code? What sort of clips are you using from the tour? And all, I mean, he's just like a kid in a candy store asking about the game and how much, what he could do to help ease things along. I mean, the story with, let me just call Paul, I mean, isn't the first time he just stepped in and made something happen. We were interested in using the tour posters, and Slash was like, okay, well, here's Arian Bueller's contact info. He's the guy who made a bunch of our tour posters. Why don't you bring him on as artwork? And here's Duff's cell phone. Here's Melissa's info. Here's Frank's and Dizzy's and Richard's. And I have all those guys' phone numbers now, and I legit just reached out to them, and they would bend over backwards to help us. Each of them has so much passion for what they do and what they bring to this band that they were excited to be part of this. Melissa has such a bubbly personality and so much like joy when she was asked to do some voice work for the game. I mean, she really brought the excitement and the energy to the call outs that we were looking for. She was so excited, and one of the things that made me just take a step back and realize, wow, this is legitimately cool what I get to do on a day-to-day basis. Melissa, when we were in the recording session with her, which lasted 4 hours, and she was just a trooper the entire time, she legitimately said, Eric, you guys have the coolest job in the world. A legit rock star said, we have the coolest job in the world. And that was all of these guys. I mean, Frank, the conversations I had with him, I asked to sign the CE sticks on all the games. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be like, over 1,000 sticks that you have to sign. Is that, a problem? He's like, no problem at all. Send me the sticks. We'll make it happen. And he was signing them during rehearsals before COVID hit. It was actually in March before they got shut down. And here's one of the Easter eggs to play back to JT's comment on Easter eggs. In the CE versions, Frank did this without me asking, and all of the band got on board with it too. So someone out there will have a stick signed by Duff, and someone else will have a stick signed by Melissa, and someone else will have a stick signed by Axel, and someone else will have a stick signed by Sl. He got everyone in the band to sign one of the drumsticks and put them into the pot. So just all of them care and think it's such a cool passion project. There was never any feeling like I'm going out on a limb and asking them to do something. There was never any feeling of pushback from them. Slash just came with so much energy, and he brought the perspective of what GNR wants to bring to the table and what the fans want to see. Appetite is their most recognized album. So the idea for the collector's edition being themed around Appetite for Destruction was Slash, and he had so much feedback on the artwork and using those two characters from the original album. It was just a complete partnership in every way, and I couldn't think of a more responsive coworker to have working on this project. It was fantastic.
Hey, Eric, why don't you say something about Slash being on the production line and signing a couple of SEs?
Ooh. So yeah, when Slash was at the factory, we walked around, we toured the place, and we were taking some photos for the different magazines that were there that day or whatever, and we're building SEs at the time, standard edition games at the time, and Slash is just like, okay, well, this looks like a cool game. I'm going to sign my name on this one and sign over here, and we're signing some more stuff over there. So some random standard edition buyers will have a Slash top hat signed by the man himself. We're not saving that. We are putting it in a box and we are shipping it out, and some random customer will get a Slash signed top hat in their standard edition game.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
He just did it because he's like, this is going to be cool. This game is awesome, and I want to sign this one. So it was.
As I recall, he actually installed that hat mechanism.
He did. He grabbed the nut driver and figured out how to put it all together. And he was really interested in every aspect of it. I mean, looking from how sub-assemblies are made and the assembly fixtures that had to be put together, that had to be designed. I mean, there's a whole area of engineering that comes to making assembly fixtures so little parts can be put together the exact same way every time, without having to tweak or bend or juggle parts. Slash was into it, and not just saving face, but he was actually interested in how all of these people come together to make the game. He's a very cool, down-to-earth person, and very proud to know him.
Yeah.
And after we're all done talking here, I think we got a video of Slash at the factory, right?
I think we do, yeah.
I think we do, yeah.
I want to say that I want our next game to be Godzilla with Slash. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm not confirming nor denying.
We'll put a duly noted on that.
Get him to play Godzilla. Zilla.
Godzilla. Keith, next question is yours from Chad.
All right. So Chad Hansen writes, what attribute of the GNR pin, be it sound, lights, gameplay, mech, etc., truly defines the theme, not in this lifetime? And why will it be a game changer for pinball players and the gaming industry going forward? So I think you've heard from everyone at this point that going forward, we've introduced a lot of new things, the hot rails, the sensors with the RGB lighting, and all those things will be in our toolbox for games to come. The easy answer
the obvious answer for the not in this lifetime aspect is that obviously the concert experience, it's the thing we talked about from the very beginning. It's what Slash wanted. When I went to see the concert, I got a cell phone video of Live and Let Die. And that's why I was, begging Eric and Jack. You got, of all the songs, Live and Let Die is going to be the one that, everyone who's gone to the concert is going to have seen that and appreciate the eye-bleeding experience that it provides. So, of all the songs that we really, have to work extra hard to get, that was it. So props to everyone for making that happen, from Eric and Jack and Slash. And,
and Sir Paul McCartney, I guess.
And Paul McCartney, sure. And when we released the game and you saw the straight down the middle video and they showed Live and Let Die right at the beginning, I mean, that was it. That was the selling point of the game. It's like, look, everything's synced up to the music. It's like what you're seeing at the show. It really epitomizes what we as a group were trying to put in the game. And so that's the obvious answer. The less obvious answer is that, especially from the stories you just heard from Eric, we are not in all likelihood going to have the opportunity for licensor involvement that we had with this project because, like it or not, to most people, this is a job and they represent their product and they approve stuff and they do what they need to do. And we do what we need to do to make sure we stay within the bounds of good taste related to the license and use the license appropriately in the game and conveying it to the buying public who are fans of the license, the reason they're buying the game. So the cooperation we got from all those guys, whether it's from signing stuff or doing recordings or recording music and, voiceover work, that is the real not in this lifetime moment, I think, is how much those guys put effort into the final product as much as we did. I mean, we started off, it's a game, okay, we'll do it based on the concert. And as we go along, Eric is doing ideas and we're maturing, what it is we're doing and that kind of thing. And, I'm really proud of everyone at JJP for coming together and putting in the time and just making a unbelievable kick-ass product that, I don't think any of us saw from the beginning, what this thing would turn into, but really the whole of this product is way more than the sum of its parts. We all spent a long time working on it and putting stuff into it and putting our love into it, but all our work combined with the band's work, it's just the whole thing came together in a way that hasn't been seen before, I don't think, and I don't want to say won't be seen again, but, it's going to be hard to replicate what it is we did do. I'm going to be honest. But, of course, we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep, hopefully each game is better than the next. And that's always what we'll strive to do. But that was, it's definitely a turning point for this company that couldn't have come at a better time as, our owners have made the investment to move everyone into the same building and, get the line here so we can go out to the line, help the line do their job, fix things, just make sure everything's running smoothly. So it's a perfect timing for everything. A great game, a great licensor, a great new factory, and it's just, it's all going to take off from here, we hope. And, we can't wait for the future going on from now. And for asking that question, Chad, congratulations, you have won the GNR playfield as signed by Slash. So
Nice.
We'll hit you up and figure out your details and get that over to you. Congratulations, great question, and thanks everyone for your love and for your interest in the game. And we hope we keep delivering you quality product going forward.
Great. All right, we got a video.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Awesome video.
Yeah.
That was a fun day.
Yeah, it was.
It was a fun day. It was great being there.
Yeah.
The local news people had problems with his mask, of course.
Yes, they did.
Someone's not on mute.
Joe.
All right. Well, I don't know if we have too much else scheduled to talk about.
Oh, I didn't know if Rob was going to come back or what, but
Rob.
Hey
Keith,
guys,
you said it
anything
very
else
well.
you guys want to share with us?
So-
Closing statements, closing thoughts?
Any questions from your people?
Well, the whole idea,
Oh, I can't
of
hear
starting
Jay.
the company was to make
Yeah.
great games.
Very cool. Hey, Jack, I got something I want to read you real quick.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So this is Replay Magazine from 2012.
Some of the turn some of the pictures.
So you can see the picture, okay? And it's entitled "Keeping It Real in the Virtual World." And the story
By Jack Guarneri.
And it goes, a virtual trade show. This idea has been floated around for a while. It's a great idea to produce a showcase for Replay Magazine to fill the void of the time of year when we actually had a show. But I don't believe the internet or any other virtual reality will ever replace the power of the face-to-face human interaction.
So show me that. There we go.
Well, what are you going to do, right?
Well, you know, this is the next best thing. So, you know, I think that's probably what I was thinking at the time. I didn't think there would be a pandemic. I don't think any of us thought that, but certainly we're very lucky for technology, because if it was 20 years ago, we'd be out hunting for our food, and if not for Amazon and all the other technological things that we have today, keeping us partially sane and letting us do what we're supposed to do with our families and our livelihoods. Thank goodness for that. So I just hope everybody stays safe, and this thing ends pretty soon, and we all get back together, and we all, you know, I'm a hugger, so I'd like to give everybody a hug, and I've been known to kiss once in a while on the cheek, not in a, you know, and not that there's anything wrong with that. That's an Italian thing, you know. But I hope we could all get back together soon, and you know, share a lot of fun together, play games together. My typical night on Saturday night, like so many of you, would be just to play pinball throughout the night. And many times I bumped into Keith at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and played a game of something or other as I made my way to the airport for Sunday morning for the 6 a.m. flight home. I'm going to miss that. I can't believe I'm going to say it. I even miss Fred Young with all his impersonations in the lobby, Darth Vader and everything else. You know, I even miss that. So hopefully we're all together next year, and you know, thank you everybody. I appreciate the induction into the Hall of Fame. Rob, I don't know that this will get you a CE game. I really don't know. But you know, that's probably not going to help if I could tell you that. It probably won't help. But if any distributor has a CE game, call Rob Burke. That's all I can tell you. He's willing to pay double for it, I heard.
As I tell my employees, never say never.
Never say never is something I say until Justin Bieber started saying it, and I had to change that around.
Hey, we want to thank all you guys for being here today, and Jack, congratulations on your induction. You guys it's a great group of guys that put this together. This game is fantastic, and I wish you guys the best of luck in your new location.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
well,
Jack.
there you go.
Let's watch some more. Let's watch some
How
more.
did you pull that off?
Well, we got some technical know-how, thank goodness. All right.
And I took my head off because people said they couldn't tell with our heads down who was you and which one was you, which was me. So the hats off, guys. And we're still rocking and rolling. It's amazing. We started at, 3 o'clock today?
Yep.
And we're going on for another,
3 hours. We got an addition to the 11 o'clock spot. Rob, who we got in?
Well, at 11 o'clock, we're going to play the Pinball Asylum again.
They actually sent us the new version of the...
It got all chopped up yesterday.
And it's good. We already pre-looked at it, so we're happy about bringing them back at 11.
And as a reminder, tomorrow we're starting 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow evening will be the last time you see us, the last time you'll see Dave and I going back and forth and having a good time here.
Unbelievable. I can't believe it's already been
almost just for you, Dave, just for you, just so we know.
Very good.
So,
and you know, folks, we all say this about getting what?
Get ready! And we're going to get ready. Here we got one or two more little quick commercials, and then we have our next talk with
Mr. Todd Tuckey.
All right. Jeff, hit it, brother.
Hey guys, Matt from Back Alley Creations here to show you our newest creation. This is our gold ball. Let's zoom in. There we go. I'll show you guys the finish on it. It does have a mirrored finish. It's more of a pirate's gold than a brass mirrored plating kind of look to it. But it is still highly reflective. You can see the the fan and the lights, myself reflecting in the ball. One of the other things I want to point out was this line right here that's on the ball. is part of the process for us making this gold. So that line right there, you will see in the ball. However, when it's rolling around in the game, of course, you do not see it. I mean, I'm moving it real slow right now. So it's nothing for during gameplay that you'll even notice. But I did want to point it out. So let me zoom in one more time so you guys get a good look at it, see what you think, and hope everybody likes the new product.
Multimorphic presents the P3, the world's most advanced pinball system. With its swappable game kits and long list of industry-leading innovations, the P3 delivers the ultimate in pinball experiences and the best price per game value in the industry, by far. Well known for its incredible technology like its interactive playfield display and wall scoop assembly, and for its already impressive library of engaging original games, the P3 offers exciting and fun gameplay options for everybody in your family, and it continues to get even better. The P3 now has USB and Bluetooth headset support. After installing this free update, P3 players can enjoy immersive game audio even in the loudest of environments. Cosmic Kart Racing, an arcade-style pinball game with lightning-fast shots and incredible light shows, now includes Career Mode, an entirely new 3-ball option with stackable modes and strategic gameplay. Rev up your RPMs and keep those combos flowing as you earn money to upgrade your kart, score jackpots in Meteor Shower Multiball, and compete in races across multiple galaxies. Playing with your friends on a single machine is great, but playing against your friends across multiple machines is even better. Internet-connected gameplay is another free and industry-first feature, and it's available now. Challenge your friends to a real-time head-to-head battle anytime, anywhere in the world on games like Cosmic Kart Racing, Heads Up, and soon many more. And finally, welcome the P3's fourth game kit, Heist. With an immersive story and an incredible world under glass, Heist is a fast-flowing game, filled with magical pinball moments and exciting multi-ball modes. Work various jobs, avoid getting caught, and take on Ocean City's overlord, Frank Bigelow, all while fighting against the coolest physical toy ever in a pinball machine. Customers are calling it the game of the decade, an all-time top 10 game, and a masterpiece. And as a P3 game kit, it costs a fraction of the price of a new machine. With every new game and feature, Multimorphic delivers more fun and more value to P3 customers. Join the pinball revolution. Learn more at multimorphic.com.
Guys, we had some great sponsors.
Unbelievable.
Let me tell you, that Artovision, this guy is unbelievable. I don't even want to guess how much money's got involved. Just the variety of shirts he had printed up, small to extra large. I mean, my gosh, over the top. Listen, we got to bring you to Expo next year, man. I love what you've done. Everything was great. In fact, all our sponsors have wonderful stuff. Jerry, great stuff what you've done. Great commercial. Everything is great.
Beautiful. Unbelievable.
I don't know how you can sleep at night, seriously.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to all sleep when this show is over. It's been a love passion to put this on and to do some absolutely crazy stuff.
Now, surface pattern.